Another useful command used for viewing files is tail. Using tail, you can view the last lines of a file, and by default it shows the last 10 lines. Tail etc password. These are the last 10 lines of the file, so the last 10 users. If it seems too basic, imagine that you are most of the time interested in the last events that took place. For example, the command I've just executed has shown the last 10 created users. Tail has several options that can be used to get the desired output. If you want to read a custom number of lines of a file, use -n and the number. For example, I want to see the last two groups that were created, tail -n2 and the path to the file, etc group. This is where the groups are saved. And these are the two groups that were created. Or, if I want to read the last lines starting with a specific line number, then I can use a command like this, tail -n plus 20 and the path to the file. For example, var log syslog. It will display the last lines of the file starting with the line number 20. So from line 20 to the end. Tail is really useful for reading a file in real time, like when you want to view the last n lines of a log file for important system messages. You use tail to watch log files as they are updated. Using the -f option, tail automatically brings new messages from an open file to the screen in real time. For example, to actively watch as users log in and out, I'll run the following command. Tail -f and the path to the file where authentication tries are saved. /var log auth.log. These are the last 10 lines of the file, and the contents of the file will be updated in real time. And in another terminal, I will log in into a shell as root. So sudo su. I'm entering the wrong password on purpose. See how tail has updated the file in real time. We can see the authentication failure message. The user student couldn't become root. Now I'll authenticate successfully. And this is the message. Session opened for user root by student. Student to root. When you are finished with tail, press Ctrl and C. The last command I'm gonna show you is head. It's the complementary of tail command, and as the name implies, brings the top n number of lines from a given file. Head is used to display the beginning of a file. Head etc password. By default, it reads the first 10 lines of a file, so the previous command has printed out the first 10 users. You can change the number of lines displayed by specifying -n and the number, or simply the number of lines you want to see. Head -n3 /etc group. These are the first 3 groups. Or head -7 /etc group. The first 7 groups. And at the end, I'll introduce you to another Linux command which has nothing to do with viewing files, but could be very useful. If you want to run a command repeatedly, displaying its output and error, you use the watch command. It allows you to watch the program output change over time. I'm running ls repeatedly. Watch ls. This is the contents of the current working directory, the user's home directory. By default, the ls command is run every 2 seconds, and watch will run until interrupted. To interrupt it, hold Ctrl and press C. So Ctrl and C. Two interesting options are -d to highlight the differences between successive updates and -n and the number to specify the update interval. I'm running the ls-l command every 3 seconds, highlighting the differences. So watch -n3 -d ls -l. And in another terminal, I'm creating a file in the same directory. Touch abc.txt. See how it has highlighted the differences between updates. In the last example, I want to see how packages are sent and received by executing the ifconfig repeatedly. Watch -n1 -d ifconfig. I'm closing this terminal. You can generate some network traffic to see it clearer. I'm opening the Firefox browser and visit some websites. Okay, see the differences. See how the number of received and sent packages is updated.